Hello. In this video, I'd like to share just a few things about how the study of Tai Chi Gung has helped me improve as a violinist. When you go to play a challenging piece of music, one of the things that you face is the ability to execute things on time. So, for example, when you're starting out, getting the notes to go steady in time is very important. If I take it to a very simple tune, you'll be able to pick up on what I mean. So if I start a song, right, everybody knows the tune, and we get used to having the sounds come in time, right, in rhythm. So if I break that, any parent that has had a child beginning music will be standing in the other room, and they will experience the aggravation of the music not coming on time. Okay, so in the study of Tai Chi Gung, what we're learning to do is we're learning to let the flow of the life force go smoothly and without constriction. How does that manifest for health? Well, if you go to an acupuncture physician, they'll take your pulse and they'll notice, okay, well, this is overactive and this is underactive and there's a block here. So what we're going to do is we're going to reroute that chi and we're going to open up that block so that the chi can flow in its regenerative pattern without interruption. What makes Tai Chi Gung very unique is that we learn to breathe the life force and connect to nature. So we're not really limited to the chi that we have, like when we walk around. We're creating this idea of, okay, I'm going to, like charging a battery, I'm going to plug into nature through breath and appreciation and humility and allow that life force to reanimate, almost like bringing you back from the edge of sickness. So it's a 3,000-year-old science that is all about bringing things to life. So on a technical level with a musical instrument, you need to be able to execute slow notes, medium notes, fast notes, and every combination. Getting to fast is something that violinists tend to spend a lot of time doing. And one of the things that you learn is that the flow of the chi, as you speed up, you have to be able to let it go and then not mess with it and also keep it focused. It's it's kind of like my form of a video game. The mind-body connection, the freedom of the breath, just to execute. So, I'll give you an example. One of the things I encourage my students to do is to be able to get to a fluent motion where there are two notes in one beat. They're called eighth notes. Why is that important? Because instead of focusing on one note at a time, dot, 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 instead of doing that, you're going to group them, and in grouping them, you start to feel the flow. Bum, 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 bum. So the fluency is kind of baked into the eighth notes. How does it sound in a scale? Ta, 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 ta. Okay? Now, being able to do that in a relaxed way is important. And then, it's kind of interesting, you can double it up. You can double that up. Now, inside, I'm just as calm as I was when there were two. It sounds super fast. Inside, it's super slow. What's the difference? My mind is focused on those eighth notes, eight notes that come together, right? Okay? So when you start to be aware of the flow and you start to do this Tai Chi Gung training, all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, you can tell when it's on, you can tell when it's off, and then over time, you can actually get out ahead of it. My violin mentor, who was Ruben Gonzalez, finished his career as the concertmaster of the Chicago Symphony for 12 years. I remember in grad school, he turned to me and said, David, you play the violin like you're chasing the bus. Like there's this underlying panic that I don't have enough time and I'm always behind. You have to get out ahead of music as it becomes more and more complicated. What's interesting is that you can also train your mind to grab onto phrases as single things. So you really start to expand. It's a wonderful thing from technique perspective, because it's not random. You know when you know, and you know when you're unsure. My teacher used to say, David, when you walk into that symphony audition, you need to have those excerpts, the things they ask you to play, you need to have them in your pocket, right? And what he was talking about is this knowing that you have the whole thing, right? So the training of Tai Chi Gung has accelerated that tremendously. Even so, to me, it's like icing on the cake. The cake is, how do you bring the music alive? How do you infuse it with soul energy? And that's the topic of the next video. If you're interested in trying Tai Chi Gung here in the Denver area, we give the first class free to any new student. So just stop by the website, register. You'll get a digital card, and you can bring it to any of the classes for the next 30 days. Thank you so much for your time. Look forward to meeting you.